3:47 a.m. Federal agents breach a glass door. Gunfire echoes through marble halls. A man runs. He doesn't make it. What they found inside America's most exclusive airport lounge wasn't champagne and caviar, it was a $920 million drug empire hidden behind diplomatic immunity. And the mastermind? A Somali national who turned VIP luxury into a cartel gateway. Before we expose how deep this goes, have you ever wondered what really happens in those restricted airport areas you're never allowed to see? Drop a comment below. Because what federal agents discovered will change how you look at air travel forever. Welcome back to ICE and FBI Files, where we bring you the untold stories of America's most dangerous investigations. I'm your host, and today we're diving into Operation Nightfall, a case so sophisticated, so perfectly executed, that it took federal agencies 9 months just to realize they were being played. This isn't your typical border bust. No tunnels. No midnight boat runs. This was corporate-level infiltration disguised as 5-star service. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because cases like this don't show up in mainstream media. We get the classified details, the real stories, the operations that reshape national security. And trust me, you'll want to see how this ends. Let's go back to where it all started. Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. February 2024. ICE analysts were reviewing cargo data, routine stuff. Flight manifests, freight logs, customs declarations. Thousands of entries every single day. But then, an anomaly. One airport terminal showed a pattern that shouldn't exist. For 11 consecutive months, not a single shipment was flagged. Not one suspicious container. Not one customs delay. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. Have any of you flown internationally? You know how strict airport security is, right? Comment below if TSA has ever pulled you aside for random screening. Cartels don't operate without mistakes. They adapt, they evolve, but they leave traces. Always. Except here, nothing. That's when ICE's cyber forensics pulled deeper records. And they found something that didn't make sense. A restricted access zone labeled Concourse K, Executive Transit Lounge, Diplomatic Level. Diplomatic Level. This wasn't a lounge for business travelers or first-class passengers. This was a facility designed for foreign dignitaries, UN officials, heads of state. Except, there were no embassies attached to it. No government contracts. No State Department authorizations. Just one name buried in the access logs. Over and over again. Abdi Hassan. Somali-born logistics coordinator. Officially employed as the airport's international guest services manager. ICE started building a profile. Hassan had worked at DFW for 7 years. Clean record. Respected by colleagues. Even received a Customer Excellence Award in 2022. Model employee, right? Wrong. When agents cross-referenced his financials, they found offshore accounts in 3 countries. Wire transfers from shell companies in Dubai and Singapore. Crypto wallet transactions totaling $14 million. All while making $67,000 a year. Yeah. Let that sink in. ICE and FBI formed a joint task force within 72 hours. They deployed undercover agents, cyber surveillance, financial trackers. And what they uncovered was a machine. A narcotics superhighway running through America's aviation system, protected by privilege, shielded by bureaucracy, and controlled by a Somali operative with keys to every restricted door in the terminal. March 19, 2024. 3:47 a.m. Federal strike teams assembled in the shadows beneath DFW Terminal D. FBI hostage rescue team. ICE Homeland Security investigations. DEA tactical units. Over 60 agents. Armed, coordinated, and ready to move. Question for you, have you ever seen a federal raid go down in real life? Not on TV. In person. Let me know in the comments, because what happened next was surgical. Thermal drones mapped the interior. 17 heat signatures. 4 in the main lounge. 6 in a back corridor. 7 clustered around what looked like a server room. At 3:51 a.m., the power grid flickered. Just for 2 seconds. Long enough for engineers to reroute the building's cameras. The Somali network went blind. Breaching charges detonated. Flash grenades rolled across Italian marble floors. Agents stormed through smoke and chaos. Hassan bolted toward the tarmac exit. He didn't make it 10 feet. An ICE operator tackled him into a row of designer chairs, shattered. Glass everywhere. 2 suspects tried to purge the computer system. FBI cyber agents stopped the wipe with 14 seconds to spare. And then, they opened the vault. Rows of diplomatic style courier cases, false bottom luggage, encrypted hard drives, and stacked floor to ceiling. 847 kilograms of pure fentanyl. Street value? $920 million. Let me put that in perspective for you. That's enough to kill 423 million people. More than the entire population of the United States. Gone. From one airport lounge. How does that make you feel? Knowing this was happening in a place where families board flights for vacation? Comment your thoughts below. But here's where it gets worse. Inside Hassan's encrypted server, FBI found files labeled Expansion Protocol. Miami, New York, Phoenix, Seattle, Tacoma. This wasn't just DFW. Hassan's Somali network had embedded operatives in 6 major U.S. airports. All using the same blueprint. VIP lounges, diplomatic bypasses, corrupt staffers with access codes. Within hours, coordinated raids hit all 6 cities simultaneously. Miami, $64 million seized. Phoenix, armed resistance, 3 arrests. Seattle, 19 encrypted devices recovered. The entire network collapsed in under 4 hours. But the real shock came from forensic analysis. Hassan wasn't working alone. Financial records traced back to a foreign logistics conglomerate with political ties to East Africa. This wasn't just a Somali drug lord. This was state-adjacent infrastructure weaponized for narcotics trafficking. Think about that. A foreign-backed operation using American airports as distribution hubs. Right under our noses. Does that concern you? Should there be stricter oversight on airport VIP services? I want to hear your take in the comments. By the end of Operation Nightfall, 340 suspects were detained across 6 states. Over $920 million in narcotics off the streets. $187 million in cash and crypto assets frozen. Abdi Hassan, the Somali mastermind, now faces 480 years in federal prison. No parole. No plea deals. But the case exposed something bigger. A vulnerability in America's aviation system that most people never think about. VIP lounges operate in a gray zone. Diplomatic courtesy. Executive privilege. Limited oversight. And cartels, along with foreign actors, learned how to exploit that. Since Operation Nightfall, DHS has implemented new protocols. Random inspections of VIP transit zones. Enhanced background checks for airport personnel with restricted access. Real-time monitoring of diplomatic courier routes. It's a step forward. But the fight's not over.